Hello, you guys. Today we are going to do a men's abdomen and chest sugaring appointment, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps that I do to complete this appointment. So first, I'm going to use my micellar cleansing water, and I'm going to cleanse the full area that we will be working on. And this is just to remove any natural body oils so that the sugar can do its thing. And now we are going to apply our healthy powder, and this is a talc-free powder that's going to absorb any moisture off the skin so that our sugar can stick, and it's also going to protect the skin. All right, so I have my large ball of paste here, and I am taking a larger ball today because I wanted to speed sugar over this larger body area. And I did use a soft paste today because my room was a little bit on the cooler side, and I know that this client has longer hair, so I didn't need to use a harder paste in order to grab any short hairs. So the soft paste is going to work wonderfully for me today. So first I'm going to start molding. So I am applying the sugar against the direction of the hair growth. So of course there are several different directions with this body area, but most of the hair was growing in an inwards direction towards the center of the body line, towards the belly button. So I wanted to start molding in the opposite direction, which is what I'm doing now. And I always start with the lower abdomen when I'm doing this men's service because it does sting a little bit more than the top chest area, and I like to get this area over with first so that we can just get past it and then we can move on to the easier one. It's always better to start with the harder one first and then move on to the easier one because it's just better for the client. So I am going to cross hatch here, and I'm molding now in an upwards direction on the areas that have a little bit different areas of growth. And here we go, we're gonna start flicking. So I'm flattening out my fingers, I'm pulling the skin tight, which is very important, flicking, and then I'm pressing. So that's my comfort press right there, boom. So that's really important. You can see the areas with no hair, it's just flicking right off. And then the denser hair areas, I am just gonna press that sugar in, making sure I'm getting all the hairs out. And my sugar did a great job today. It really pulled everything out because I was doing this technique. And I am kind of using a circular motion, which is great for these denser hair growth areas. And you always want to flick parallel to the skin, which is what I'm doing here. So you can see I'm flicking upwards, boom, and then comfort press. That's going to ensure the client's comfort. And just fanning it off just to make sure that it's no discomfort for the client. But he's pretty used to it, so it's not a big deal. Okay, and then comfort press, boom. So you can see how clean that one side came out, even just with a few passes of the molding, because his hair was long and it was ready to go. It was not shaved recently or anything like that, so we didn't have to really go over it that many times. Okay, so now we're doing the other side, and I'm grabbing on that extra sugar that was left over as well. Cross hatching, so we're gonna mold upwards, and make sure that you keep your fingers nice and clawed in this position, because if you have flat fingers when you're molding, then your glove is going to slide off. So remember that you want to have claw hands during the molding process. The only time you want to flatten your fingers is when you come past that edge. See, flatten, and flick. Boom, there we go. That's the only time you're going to be flattening your fingers. The whole rest of the molding process is going to have claw hands. It's very important. And I'm just getting off any excess sugar particles from the skin as I go, just to make sure it's not sticky. And now I'm doing the upper portion of the chest. So I'm just kind of avoiding the nipple area because I didn't want to sugar over that. There was no hair there, so you are just going to go around it. And there we go, comfort press, get that extra sugar off. And this area is pretty easy, but the direction of hair growth does vary a lot in this area because it's almost circular. So you do typically have to go over it a couple of times, molding in different directions, and then possibly going over more minute details like I'm going over here in the nipple area just to remove that hair. All right, so now we're on the other side, and see I got some sugar on the armpit. I just quickly removed that so it didn't take that hair off because we want to keep that hair. So now I'm gonna flick, comfort press, and really make sure you stretch the skin. It's really important, especially for these fleshier areas of the body, that you are pulling the skin as tight as possible. And remember, if you're pulling the skin, you could always pull it tighter. It's gonna make the client a lot more comfortable, and it's going to make it sting a lot less, and it's going to prevent you from bruising the client, which is really important. So we're going to keep pulling, pull that skin tight, mold in a couple different directions, and make sure that you really press that sugar into the skin to get that hair coated with the sugar, because you really want to get every direction and every angle covered so that you don't have to go over it again and again. And it's going to save you time in the appointment. All right, so now we are flicking, boom, boom, press, and then get that last bit of sugar off. You can see we got a great result today, and the skin came out so smooth. He really didn't have any excess hairs because he did do a great job at, not trimming in between appointments, which is really important to make sure that you stress that to clients, because if they do trim, then it's not going to be as smooth as a result. All right, and now we're applying the aftercare. So I have my botanical water and my skin smoothing serum. This is going to calm any redness, reduce inflammation, and the client should not be sweating or working out or going in a sauna for the next 24 hours. And he was advised on that as well during the appointment. But the aftercare is super important for not only you, but also for the client. All right, and here is our beautiful result. Look at that amazing before and after. This is why I love sugaring, guys. I hope you enjoyed this.